So the year is 2016. We are far away from Pandemonium Pizzeria, whatever you call it of any kind. We are in Cuba. Sunny, beautiful Cuba. It's June. And if you want to enter the world of where I am in this story, imagine that you are an 18-year-old, highly psychotic, highly insecure, highly chaotic individual. That is me. All right, you can open your eyes. We're here. So we are in Cuba. It is a beautiful, beautiful summer day, and I'm sitting in the pool with a drink, getting lit, with my friend Elle. Now, my friend Elle and I decided to book a trip to Cuba because at the time, we had just finished our first year of university, and after a really exciting yet stressful year, we really wanted to have a moment to just celebrate our success and have like a cornerstone, like a pinnacle on which we can like put this experience and be like, yeah, girl, we did that. So we're in Cuba, I'm sitting with Elle, and I'm sitting with friends who I met yesterday, but it feels like we've been friends forever, as it often goes on vacation. You meet people, the vibes are right, and you just become instant friends. We're sitting in the pool, talking, enjoying our time, and down the way yonder on the other side of the pool, there's a group of 5 or 6 guys who come from Quebec. They're French, and they're playing a game of volleyball, and they're very, very obnoxious. They're roughhousing, they're screaming, they're being very invasive towards other people, and eventually all of their ruckus starts to make its way from the side of the pool in which they are to where myself and my friends are sitting. And as we're sitting there enjoying our time, I notice that Elle starts to listen to what they're saying because she speaks French, and her energy starts to shift. And I look at Elle and I'm like, girl, like, what's wrong? Like, don't worry, be here with us, like, who cares about them? And she can't let go of what they're saying, and she tells me, Zach, I'm so upset right now. I can't let go of what these guys are saying because they've come up with a nickname for you. They've come up with this terrible nickname that like is just getting under my skin. And I said, well, girl, what's the nickname? And then she said, well, they're calling you Little Dick. That's literally what they're saying, and they have not stopped calling you this name for the last 20 minutes. They keep pestering you and making fun of you, and it's getting on my nerves. Now, I look at Elle because this is something that at this point in my life, I've been used to. Bullying is something that if you live in a queer body, you just know that it's coming and you learn how to brace yourself. So I told Elle, girl, ignore it. It is fine. Let's live here. Let's live in this moment and block that out. There is no need for us to bring attention to that because if we do, maybe things will get worse. Nobody's understanding them. We're over here minding our business. Just leave it be. And as much as I'm trying to convince Elle to just leave this be, she is not listening to me and she's not having any of it. And neither are the new girlfriends who I'm sitting with. So Elle gets up. Another one of my new friends, Sue, gets up. And together, this group of 2 boss bitches walks over to this group of 6 men, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, bitch, what's going on here? I have no idea. So, all I know is we're all watching them where I'm from, at least where I'm sitting. I'm watching Elle and Sue talk to these guys. 5 minutes go by. There's a debacle. They're screaming. Words are had. I look away, mind my own business because, we're not talking about me, We're not talking about me. And 5 minutes later, both of them come back, and these 6 guys get up out of the pool, and they leave and mind their own business. And in that moment, I was so grateful because at that point in my life, I had never had people, a friend of mine, but also somebody who's still practically a stranger to me. I met you yesterday. 2 people just immediately got up, interrupted harm, and just made me feel so safe. And that had never happened before until that point. It was exhilarating to know that people were looking out for me. So after that whole moment passes, those guys go away, and me and Sue now are talking in the pool. We're going to get a drink, and she looks at me and she goes, okay, bitch, I have something to tell you. And I'm like, shoot. I'm an open book. You can say whatever you want to me. So she looks at me and Sue says, bitch, I don't know if I've told you this already, but like in case I haven't, she goes, I just want you to know, I just think you're so fucking pretty. Like I do. She goes, you're so pretty. And like, I just think that you're like a hot piece of ass. And like, oh my God, like look at how good you look. Like you thought about the looks, the this, the that. And I think that men here on this trip are just gonna like eat you up. Like they are just gonna like really love what they're seeing. This was such a shock to me because given what had just happened and just given my life experience up until that point, nobody has ever given me these words, especially men, but nobody has ever given me these words. And I tell Sue, oh my gosh, Sue, like, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate that, but don't worry, girl. That's not my focus on this trip. I'm here with friends. I'm here to have a good time. Like, let's just focus on that. Okay, now I'm just gonna get real with y'all for a second in saying that what I told Sue was a bold-faced lie, bitch! It was a lie! Because up until that point, and during that day, there were so many things happening on this resort, and her words were heartening to me, and to be honest, at that point in my life, I was looking for that. I was looking for somebody to share my time with. I was looking for somebody to desire me, and on top of that, on this resort that we were all staying, if there was one thing that everybody, and I swear to you, everybody was doing on this resort, they were fucking everybody. I'm not even lying. It's almost like I missed a convention or something, but literally everybody on this resort is booked, blessed, busy. Like everybody's finding somebody, and it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your age, like nothing. It doesn't matter. I'm just watching everybody link up and go off, and now they're here, and oh, this girl who I was talking to 20 minutes before, she's now in her room with that guy. And it was to the point that even the resort workers were in on it, and they were picking up people who were staying there. And even one of my friends, I watched her, I waved her off, and she and this really hot resort worker went off to the room and did whatever the heck they did. But that was what we were talking about that day. Everybody was in this space of wanting to hook up, and I secretly wanted to as well. But we're in a different place in the world where I have different things to consider. And what I had to consider in that moment was, this isn't a safe thing for me to do here, and there's no way that I can put myself in a position of this because I'm already being harassed by just sitting in the fucking pool minding my business. So why would I give myself this belief that I am going to meet someone in this place where I could be harmed more than I am going to be embraced? So me and Sue keep talking, and she tells me that her and the girls are planning on going to a club that night. And what that would mean for me is that would mean going off resort into downtown Veradero and enjoying the club space. Now, based on how the afternoon went and based on the climate that I took from everybody in my group, I realized, you know what, if anything happens, I'm in a group, I'm safe, and I really want to release this clusterfuck of an afternoon that I've had to deal with. So you know what? Let's go to the club. So that night, we all meet in the lobby. We do the grand old thing on resort where you line up those shots, you take those shots. We all got shit-faced, put ourselves in cabs, and got to downtown Veradero and arrived at the club called Havana Club. Now, we enter the club, and the club is a very small and dingy space. There's a bar nestled in the back corner. There's booths lining all of the walls in the club, and that's all fine and dandy, but my friends who are here tonight, they know that when I get into a club, if there is one thing that I am looking for, I'm looking for that dance floor. I gotta find that dance floor because I gotta throw down. I need the dance floor. So we get into the club, I clock everything, I clock the bar, I clock where we can sit, but then I find these steps, go down them, and there I find this beautifully open dance floor with this disco light, and I'm just like, I'm home, I'm here, I'm ready. Within minutes, me and my friends take over this club, and it is like I am the only moment in this room. Everything is blocked out, and I am spinning, I am dipping, I am hitting a split, I'm shaking my ass, like I'm just like, it is almost like I am a drag queen and every single bitch in this club is throwing money at me, and I am the moment, I am the one, and you cannot tell me otherwise. You can't say shit to me. So I was living my life, right? And then after some time, I'm dancing with my friends and I get a tap on my shoulder. I turn around and there stands this very little man who's truthfully quite attractive, with blonde hair and blue eyes. And he looks at me and he says, "Hola," and I look back at him and I say, "Hola." And sure enough, this guy grabs my arm and starts tugging me forcefully towards the door of the club and is taking me away from my friends. And I'm busy thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what is happening? Like, I've already had to deal with men today in the pool, and now I'm dealing with this guy taking me wherever he wants to take me. Like, oh my God. So then eventually, I was taller than him, I was bigger than him, so I shook him off, and I literally just said, like, please leave me alone. Like, I am here with my friends. I'm not going with you. I don't understand it. I don't know if he understands a word I'm saying, but I'm just trying to communicate no. Luckily, I shake him off, he walks away, and we continue enjoying the night. Then the next day, my friends and I had such a nice time at the club that we decide to go again. So we do the whole thing once again. We go to the bar, we line the shots. At this point, they know what my shot order is. It's 5, what was it at the time? I think it was like 5 coconut rums, something nuts, something I can't do anymore. And then we get to the club and we're dancing and doing the same old thing, and I get another tap on my shoulder. I turn around, and there stands that very, very same man again. But instead of taking my arm and dragging me out of the club, he just looks at me and he says, "I need you to come with me." Very, very succinctly, almost as if somebody had given him the words. And I looked at him and I said very respectfully, I said, "No, sir, I am not going with you. I am staying here. Please leave me alone. Have a good night." He walked away gracefully and I continued my night. Now, I think this is the second last day of our trip, and my friends and I decide to go to the club one more time. Because we had already torn that bitch up for 2 nights in a row, so third night's the charm, right? So we do the same thing. Line the shots, take the shots back, get in the cup, all the same stuff. This night, however, our third night in the club, it's that very sticky sort of humid out, the one where you can't even stand next to someone because it's so sticky. So we thought to ourselves, we don't even want to go in the club because who knows how hot it is in there. Plus, we had already tore that up for 10 nights in a row. So let's make sure that we make a good party out here. So we stay outside in this benched area. I'm talking to my friends, we're having a really good time, and I get another tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and it is this wonderful same man again. Now I'm starting to get annoyed because I'm just like, my goodness, why can't you quit? Just leave me alone. So then, before he could even say hola to me or say hello or anything like that, I look at him and I just say, "Listen, I am sure that you are a very nice person. And I am flattered, truly. I am flattered by your advances. But I am not interested. I am just here to be with my friends. Please leave us alone." Again, I don't understand. I don't know if he understands a word I'm saying, but I'm just trying to communicate. Then he looks at me and says, "You don't understand." New English. I'm like, "You don't understand." And I was like, okay, what do I not understand? And then he said, "It's not me. It's my friend. I have a friend who wants to talk to you, who wants to meet you." So now, hella annoyed, I look at him and I just say, "Where's your friend?" So he points down to the other side of the outdoor area of the club. So we're sitting over here at this benched area. He points down the way to this side of the benched area where there is this man who is sitting on a bench by himself. He's sitting on a bench. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. His gaze has not moved. He's looking at me. And my body goes numb. It goes fucking numb. I am feeling things, and it's kind of like this is going inside in my body, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then I realize that I'm like, this person is looking at me, and he looks at me and he points me to come over. But before I do that, I'm still taking a look at this man, and I just think to myself, oh my God, bitch. Oh my God, bitch. What y'all need to know about this man is that he was carved by the motherfucking angels. He really was. I'm talking like this. Let me tell you what he's giving. He's giving jawline. He's giving beautiful cheeks. He's giving like this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous like curly hair. And he's taller than me and he has like, and I'm just like, oh my God. And he's looking at me. So then my friends are like, you need to go, you need to go, you need to go. So I don't know how I found the will to do this. It's almost as if the universe like picked me up and traveled me on a wind and I was walking myself over to this guy, like just trying to like be like super cutes and whatever. And then as I'm doing that, my girlfriends are in the back cheering me on. They're so excited. So I end up going to sit next to this guy now, and he introduces himself. His name is Adrien. And the rolling of the R is very important, everyone. I will tell you in a second. But he introduces himself as Adrien. I introduce myself as Zach, and we start to talk, and he tells me a little bit about his life. He's a restaurateur in Cuba. He actually has a restaurant not too far from the club, and he was telling me about his restaurant and how pleased he is and that it's his biggest dream. And I'm listening to this like gorgeous angel Gabriel man, like carved by the angels, like tell me about his life and how happy he is here. And I'm just like, oh my God, I was like infatuated. And then after he tells me a little bit more about him, and he insists that I roll the R in his name because he wants to hear me roll the R. And as an Italian who does roll their R's, I was happy to oblige, so I just kept saying, Adrien, Adrien, Adrien. I was like so happy about it. Then he takes my hand after he tells me a little bit about himself. I tell him a little bit about me. He takes my hand and he says, Zach, I have been wanting to talk to you for the last 3 nights. When you were here 3 nights ago, he said, I took a look at you. And you are one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen. You are one of the most beautiful dancers I've ever seen. He's like, and my friend has been helping us out for the last 3 days because I couldn't muster up the courage to come up to you. And I just wanted to make sure that no matter what, we spoke. And in that moment, every single insecurity that was inside me, every single like hyper-vigilant thing that we as queer people have to carry about our safety, about our joy, about just the nuances of life, everything just flew away. And it was me and Adrien, and the whole world was shut out, and it was bliss. So things start to progress from there. Yes, they do. And Adrien starts to massage my shoulders, and he's running like his finger up and down my back, and then he starts kissing my neck, and he goes and buys me a drink, and it's all like so exciting, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh my God, this is euphoria, this is bliss. And then after he comes back with my drink and I finish it, he looks at me and he says, I think you and I need to go somewhere special. My body electrifies when he says that, and everything in me is like, yes, Adrien, I'm going with you. You say the word and I will go. But I was raised by parents who taught me about safety, so obviously I was like, we gotta assess the situation. So I went to my girlfriends and I talked to them and I explained everything. They were so happy for me. And I was like, I don't know, like I want to, but and like the push and the pull. And then Sue looks at me and she says, Zach, this is what we talked about in the pool. You deserve this. I am so happy for you. You need to live in this moment. And she's like, girl, I'll be your wing person. I'll come with you. I will follow along you and Adrien in the back, so that way, at least no matter what happens, somebody safe is there. So shout out to Sue for being that fucking bitch. Like, literally. So then I go, and I tell Adrien I'm ready to go, and he takes my hand, and he whisks me off, and we're like now off on our little journey. So we drive, oh my God. We walk through downtown Veradero together with Sue following behind at a good distance, and she like waves, and we're like, we're checking in with each other, so excited. So we walk through downtown Veradero. Then we walk through a forested brush. Like, we're walking through jungle, bitch. Like, I don't know where we're going, but we're walking through jungle, and I'm with Angel Gabriel, man, and I just said, it doesn't matter. So we're walking through the brush, and then the brush starts to clear, and we are now on a private beach. The sand is white, it's the middle of the night, the water is calm, and it's perfect. So then Adrien takes me to the ocean, and he undresses me, and then he undresses himself, and I see what I'm seeing. And at this point, I am this man's muse. I am this man's muse. So he takes my hand, we go into the water, into the ocean, and all you need to know is that now I am booked, blessed, and busy. Booked, blessed, and busy. And for the sake of this story being filmed, which my parents couldn't be here tonight and they really want to see me tell this story for some reason, I don't know why, they know that this is what it is, but they want to hear it, I'm going to forego the details of what me and Adrian got up to in the ocean. That being said, if there is one thing that all of you should know about what Adrian and I did in the ocean, it is that this man celebrated my body from head to fucking toe. There was no stone left unturned. Everything that this man could have done to me, he did. And when I tell you, it was just like euphoria, like literally my basement was flooded and I said, I was this man's muse, and like it was so good to the point where just, I didn't even know what time it was, but that started to become a problem because sure enough, the sun is rising and we're still in the ocean. And now all of a sudden in the distance, I see a little wave. And I don't know how long that wave has been going on, but I'm seeing a wave and it's coming from a bush. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on over there? Like, what the fuck is this shit? But it's my friend Sue, and she's waving to me. And now I'm realizing that the sun is up. It's probably been like, I don't even know how long, maybe hours at this point, and it's time to go. So I look at Adrian and I just say, oh my goodness, Adrian, like, I'm sorry, I've lost the time. It's time for me to go. I have to get back to the resort. And as I start to make my way out of the water, he grabs my hand and he says, no, Zach, please, just a little bit longer. I don't want you to go. And I look at him and I say, Adrian, you have no idea. I don't want to go either. I don't. But please know. Thank you for the most incredible night that you've given me. I said, this has been out of a fairy tale, and I never thought that this kind of thing was going to happen to me, and I just want you to know that you have made me feel so beautiful. And he took my hand and he said to me, that's because you are beautiful. And for the first time in my life, I had a man tell me that I was beautiful. And I believed it. That's my story. Yeah.